Welcome to this evening's program, Summer Cooking. My name is Chris with Tampa-Hillsborough County Public Library, and I'm joined tonight by Chef Mira. Hi, Chef Mira. How are you?
Hi, Chris. Great to see you. Thank you for having me again.
We're excited. We're always excited when you're with us, so we're looking forward to this. This program is part of our summer reading programs. The theme this year is Tales and Tales, and to learn more all about our summer reading activities and programs and reading challenges, you can go to our landing page at hcplc.org/summer. And also, you can learn about our reading challenges. We have 3 of them. We have one for adults, one for tweens and teens, and one for kids. You can track your reading by hours or books read, depending on which challenge you sign up for. And you can be eligible for prizes. So I encourage you to go and check it out. And you can register at hcplc.beanstack.org. And of course, like I mentioned at the top, we're here for summer cooking. This is going to be a great program. And we wouldn't be able to do programs like these without the Tampa-Hillsborough County Children's Library Foundation. We appreciate their generosity and their funding to help us deliver these programs. And lastly, we have a book shout out. And for tonight's program, we have a summer cookbook. And it's the Summer a Cookbook, Inspired Recipes for Lazy Days and Magical Nights. It's by Marnie, Hanel, and Jen Stevenson. And it can be checked out as an ebook from our Hoopla collection. There's no waiting with Hoopla, so you can check it out right away and start reading about those recipes. And you can learn more about all of our ebooks and other books if you go to hcplc.org/books. And take it away. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Chris. And once again, welcome to our kitchen. Thank you, everyone that's joining us today. As Chris mentioned, my name is Mira Johnson. I'm a holistic life coach and wellness chef and founder of Breaking Bread with Mira. So when we were planning these classes, we thought, okay, what can we make this summer that is distinctive of the summer, is available, and we could make a couple of recipes with the same ingredients. So strawberries won. So I have here some fresh strawberries. And if you don't have fresh strawberries, it's okay to use frozen strawberries for this recipe. So don't worry about it. And also, if you do have fresh strawberries and you don't eat them all within maybe 3 to 4 days, you could actually clean them and freeze them and have them ready for future recipes. So today we're making, as you can see, I'm going to go over the ingredients, the recipes, the ingredients, what we have out of the appliances, and then we'll start cooking. So we're going to make cream cheese and strawberry stuffed French toast. That's one of the recipes. Then we're going to make it 2 ways. I'm going to make one on top of the stove. Then we're going to make one with the waffle maker, just to give you ideas on how you can make this recipe and, you know, inspire you to make them your own. And I'm also, just as a bonus, I'm gonna cook a quick strawberry, kind of like a syrup to go on top of our French toast with, again, almost the same ingredients that you might have at home. So if you run out of syrup and you have strawberries and these ingredients, you'll be able to still make it. And then in the back, you see here I have a blender. We're going to make a quick strawberry, and I have some fresh lemon and lime juice here, and we're going to add that to our strawberries, and we're going to make a nice fresh, refreshing summer slushy. Just as a base, you can take ingredients as you please. So with that said, let's get started. And I have here one of my cast irons, and I have it on medium. I'm going to go to medium, almost medium high. And then the back of the stove, I'm going to go medium high because that's where I'm going to cook the syrup. So let's start first with prepping our French toast. And I'm using 2 types of bread just to give you, again, examples. You can make this with whichever bread you like. This is a keto-friendly bread. It's a little thinner and smaller. And this is called a seed static, this bread. And it's got a hard crust with, it says here, 21 whole grains and seeds. So we'll use this one. This bread is more firm, so we'll use this one on the waffle maker. And then we'll use the keto bread, which is thinner and smaller, to cook on top of the stove. So let's go ahead and start mixing our eggs, which is what's gonna give flavor to our French toast. And I love that we're using strawberries because strawberries are high in vitamin C. They're available in the spring and during the summer too. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Just a reminder, just cracking my eggs so far. I'm gonna start with 3 eggs, okay? That you see is just a little bit of the bread feet that fell in there. Now to my 3 eggs, I am going to add half a tablespoon of vanilla, and I'm using double strength Madagascar bourbon pure vanilla. Then I'm going to add about a quarter teaspoon of cardamom. Cardamom is a delicious spice that can be used either sweet or savory. And it pairs really well with cinnamon, which I'm going to add a whole teaspoon of cinnamon. This is gonna give a flavor and also color to our French toast. Then just a sprinkle of salt. And you might think, why salt? Well, salt is going to bring all of these ingredients together. It's gonna make it bind it together, and it's going to mix the flavors, enhance the flavors. So we're just gonna mix back and forth. You just go back and forth. And don't worry about the little cinnamon clumps. They're actually delicious when you're cooking them. You take that bite and there's a little bit more of cinnamon in that bite. That's great. Just go back and forth a couple of times and everything is gonna bind together great, okay? All right. So now I'm gonna move this back because I wanna show you the stove before I continue chopping. To my stove, first I'm going to do the cast iron. I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. You hear that sizzling? My cast iron is hot enough. And then a teaspoon of avocado oil to prevent it from burning. We move it around a little bit, make sure that it covers. Okay. I'm gonna lower it just a little bit so it gets ready. Now let's get our, oh, you see that? That was like a ninja. Our eggs are ready. Now let's get our sweet cream cheese ready. These are about 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I'm gonna make all of it because the rest I can save and use for other desserts. Before I do that, I wanna actually scrape a little bit of this lemon on my egg, the French toast egg. And this is gonna give it a little bit of a, kind of like a sparkling citrusy flavor. Mix a little more. Now to my cream cheese, this is 8 ounces. I'm gonna add another a teaspoon of vanilla. And a teaspoon of turbinado sugar, which is cane sugar unprocessed. And what I like about using that is that the crunchy brings like a crunchy to the cheese. Can you see that, Chris?
Yes, that looks great.
So we're just mixing. This mix, again, you can make this, if you add powdered sugar, you can make frosting with it. But if you keep that type of sugar that I added, it gives it like a crunchy when you bite into it, and it's great for stuffing different desserts. So I have here first the keto bread. Okay, let me get some of these strawberries in. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can chop the strawberries, which I'm going to do, take the little greenery off, or you could slice them and place them on the bread. The reason I like dicing them and cutting them smaller, hopefully you can see them, is because like that you ensure that you get some strawberry on every bite, and they're easier to mix too and go into your cheese. Just real simple, just dice. A sharp dice, you're not gonna see this and they're gonna cook down a little bit, so. Now let's finish mixing our cheese with our strawberries in them. Again, you could do this separately. You could just have your strawberries laid on top of the cheese, but I like mixing them. I think it gives the cheese more flavor too, because the strawberries are smashed in there. It doesn't have to look pretty right now. It will look pretty when we get done. So let's make the first. I'm gonna add, and these, you're going to go as thin or as thick as your preference with regards to the cream cheese. When it comes to kids, I advise to go a little thinner. And as they taste these recipes, then you'll know whether to add more or not. That's one. Number two, with the same keto bread, we're still on the keto bread, but this one, I'm actually going to cut and sear with this bread shaper, the sandwich shaper. If you want to make them smaller, you could use a cookie cutter too. Take off all of the corners. And I got this little, cute little pocket. So let's get this, and then let's get the one. This is my seed static bread. It's a firmer bread. So I think it could hold a little bit more of the cream cheese and the strawberries. So if you want to make the strawberries holes for this one, go ahead. So I got my three shapes. Let me clear this up so you can see them real well. All right, so we have the one going on the waffle maker, is a little firmer bread. Then I have this small keto bread that I cut all the corners and then the hole, okay? So mix, I'm going to move this close to the stove, be a little bit less of a mess. So come with me. Yeah, my temperature is perfect. Let's start with the thicker one. That's going into the waffle maker. So you're going to dump. I'm using my hands. You could use, what do you call it? A tongue, like a civilized person, but I'm shifting this. I'm just going to brush a little bit of my ghee on the waffle maker. It's on now. It's hot, and I had added some earlier, so that's why it's melted. And then I'll add my French toast right here, right in the center. It's thick, so you're gonna have to press. Yeah. Set. All right. Now let's add the other two. We're cooking on top of the stove. Dump them. Make sure that they get really soaked on the egg, cinnamon, cardamom, sugar combination, and vanilla. Oh, this is so pretty nice. That's one. This one has the corners. I don't know about you, but I do like French toast with thick corners, especially with a nice syrup on them. Oh, we added a pinch of salt to the eggs too, just to enhance the flavor. All right. Now let's work on the syrup. My stove is on medium high, a little bit of ghee, just some fat. And I'm going to, oh, I have some strawberries already chopped here. This is about a cup and a half. This is about a cup. And I'm just gonna let them cook on that ghee. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And a tablespoon of honey. And maybe a tablespoon of water. Now I don't want those tablespoons. But this is what you want. The water, the honey, and the balsamic vinegar now are gonna break down our strawberries and are gonna make a nice syrup to go with our French toast. So we'll let that cook on medium. I can smell already the French toast cooking right here on top of the stove. So now let's work on our delicious slushy while we get our French toast cooking. Chris, any questions so far that we could answer or suggestions? If you make French toast and this is one of your favorite recipes, let us know what combination of berries or fruit you will make your French toast with. Also, just so you know, strawberries, which in Spanish is fresas, that's why I keep trying to say it in Spanish. Fresas are a great source, like we talked about before, of vitamin C, potassium. They actually, I like using all kinds of berry, whether it's blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, as a source of sugar when you're making desserts. If you're trying to avoid processed sugars, strawberries are a great way to do so.
We do have a question about the egg batter. They want to know why you didn't use cream or milk.
I did not use cream or milk just to keep the calories lower. If I were to use cream or milk, I would use oat milk. But you're welcome to do so. I like doing it just with the egg. It's a little bit eggier, but I do like the flavor of them like that. The texture is a little crunchier too. I'm gonna flip them so you can see what I mean.
Yeah.
But does that answer your question?
Yes. Someone is asking if they can use frozen fruit in this recipe.
Absolutely. If you have frozen strawberries, yes, you could use them. Just chop them and use them too. And if you have fresh strawberries now and you have leftovers that you know you're not going to eat within the next 3 to 4 days, you could also freeze them and have them ready for these recipes later. These are, go ahead.
There's one last question about this recipe is can it be made without eggs?
If you're trying to make it without eggs, then I will highly advise to use 2 tablespoons of powdered chia seeds soaked in half a cup of oat milk. That's going to create a cream and a viscosity that is going to stick to your bread and give it that French toast texture. So that's a way to make it vegan.
Chia seeds. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but use the powder ones. You pound them on the food processor so they could become a powder. They're not actually the seed. And then with the oat milk, it's going to kind of become like a viscosity. It's going to kind of condense together. So it's going to give you that texture of cream.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, these smell so good. Already the French toast. Now, look how quickly how fast the waffle maker cooks. It's still a little bit stuck, so that means it's not done yet. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. So in the meantime, we have the other 2 toasts cooking on top of the stove. We have the waffle maker, and in the back, we're making a quick strawberry kind of like a syrup to go over our French toast. So I'm just letting it cook down so it gets thicker. You're gonna know it's thick enough when you run your spoon and it takes longer to come back. See that? It's gonna continue to get thick. And you can make it as sweet as you want to. As you saw, I didn't use a lot of honey. I like my flavors to pop out more than the sweetness. So I have here, let's do our smoothie now. And we could call it a smoothie, we could call it a what is it that we call it, Chris? A slushy.
Slushy, yes.
Slushy, and it will be even more of a slushy if our strawberries were frozen. So if you have frozen strawberry, go for it, raspberries, blueberries, whichever you have, even the peaches. So I'm going to add 2 cups of strawberries. And I have here the juice of 2 limes and 1 lemon. I'm going to add, Chris, would you like me to add honey or should I add the turbinado sugar? Which one would you prefer?
I'm a honey fan, so I'm going to vote honey.
Honey it is, my brother Chris. There you go. And to this, I already have some ice here, so I'm going to add some ice. I got about 8 ounces of water here. Well, about 10, but I'll use most of it. And if you excuse me, it's gonna get a little bit loud, but I'll be quick. You see that combination there? And that's it. This is something we will have to get at home, especially if you already, chopped the fruits and got everything clear for them. You can have everything put together. I have a little cup, little glass right here. Hope you can see that. Right there. Now, if I wanted to take this to a little bit of more of a nutritional drink, I will add some aloe pulp, which I have some in the refrigerator. But look how cute you can plate this for the summer, and it's refreshing. I'm gonna try it. Oh yeah, that's good. And I love the citrusy mixed with the freshness of the strawberry. So that's how fast that was. If you want to add chia seeds, you can. If you have pineapple, you could add pineapple, kiwi, whichever other flavor or fruit you want to add to it. Here you go, so refreshing. I love drinks like that. We've been taking advantage of our fruits by making agua frescas and these type of drinks. So I want to show you something, Chris, and it's to answer the question on why did he use cream, the texture is different. So you see the crust? It's got more of a crust to it, and it's a little crunchier. But I like that because I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate it now. Okay, that one is ready now. The waffle maker. It's a great way. This one is getting stuck. Okay, here we go. Oh, but this is fun for the kids. Bring it right here. See, that's still a French toast. And they don't even, the kids don't even have to see that this is a healthier bread full of fiber that becomes probiotics on their gut and helps them fight and keep their immune system clean and ready. They don't even have to know that. You can make some whipped cream, homemade whipped cream to go with this. Can you see this, Chris?
Oh yes, that looks delicious.
All right, so here we go. Now look at the thickness between the water, the honey, and the balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar is a great enhancer for berries, and it's fantastic for the digestive system, and it's lower in sodium. So now we're going to dress. See, it's a kind of like a drier recipe, but if you deal with some issues with dairy, since it only has the ghee, this is something that is user-friendly for your gut health. Not that we care about that right now, we want flavor, right? Now, I have here some powdered sugar. And this is the outcome.
Wow.
And that was so easy to make and so fast, and a great way to get the kids engaged. Maybe hide a little bit of that fiber, you know, with the bread. I have to taste. Look how cute is that bite right there. It looks like a heart. You could add chocolate chips if you like. Oh, that's hot, but it's delicious. This is the way to go this summer. Look how simple. Ingredients that you might already have at home too, Chris. You could engage the kids in the house to, you know, mix the cream cheese with the ingredients, the strawberries, make the drink while the berries are cooking. This is a great 4th of July celebration breakfast, right? Because of the colors, just, you know, you
Absolutely.
use, right? Like a blue plate or blue and red plate, and then you could put it right there. And what a great project for the kids to keep them engaged and teach them that they could make themselves a warm breakfast, that it's substantial, that it has nutrition in it, and it's something you could prepare the day before, actually. If you have the egg mix separate and the bread already stuffed separate, then you put it together in the morning. Another way that you can make this is a casserole, Chris, and our guests. Take all the steps I did, and then instead of, once you have the kind of like the sandwiches, the stuff made, put it in a tray and put the egg on top and bake it. And then you have a casserole too, and top it with the syrup afterwards. I much rather make this syrup. I make this syrup a lot with blueberries when I make pancakes. And I have found myself lately forgetting to buy, you know, store-bought syrup. You can make it with maple syrup too if you want it thicker. But honey, for me, really nice. What do you think, guys? Do you like the recipe? Will you make this at home?
It looks like a dessert. I mean, it's nutritious, but it looks so wonderful. That's great recipe. I can see how kids would be excited for that. We do have a couple questions.
Yay!
Someone was asking about the butter, the ghee butter. That correct me if I'm wrong. Is that spelled Ghee? Is that the correct spelling?
Correct. It's clarified butter.
Okay. I'm going to put that in the chat if people want to write that down.
Is ghee, and ghee is free of lactose, caffeine, gluten, and sodium. And what I love, but it's packed with flavor. and you only need a little bit of it. Because even when I make mashed potatoes, it's just a little bit. It gives, or you're finishing sauces, it's great because it still gives that silkiness and kind of brings all the ingredients together. But what I love about using it for making like grilled cheese or French toast like this is when you sear with ghee, it makes a really nice crust.
Yeah.
It makes
that makes
a
sense.
crust, yes. Or if you're baking pastries, you know how sometimes you could brush butter? I rather brush ghee, and it's just the flavor is just. Any other questions?
Yeah, there's one more. Someone was asking about the cream cheese for like if someone is watching their fat intake, can they use fat-free or low-fat cream cheese and will it still come out good?
Absolutely. If that works for you, if that product works for you, it will still be delicious. Just when you mix it, you know how we mixed it with the vanilla and the sugar? Just taste it, mix it to the point where you like it, where you will eat it and you will enjoy it inside of your French toast, and you should be fine. For those who are vegan, if they want to use this cashew-based cream cheese, that will work perfectly with this recipe too. So don't deny yourself. Remember, we bring these classes, the library brings these classes to inspire you. So you could take a look at what ingredients you have at home, but always turn it into what works for you and your family and what you have at hand. If you don't have strawberries and you have blueberries, enjoy it.
We had one last question come in. Someone was asking if they can prepare the toast in the oven or the microwave. I'm not sure about the microwave, but I think you can do it in the oven. Is that correct?
I wouldn't, the microwave is questionable. If you do make it, show it to us so we know how, because I never done it. But with the oven, yes. You can just like, I wet them, soak them, put them on a tray, and make sure that the oven is either in broil or in a higher 375 or higher. So the heat is going to sear your egg and, cook it and give it a crust too. So it's just a matter of having high temperature, but always watching it so it doesn't burn and overcook. So start on 375 or use your broil setting, and you should be fine with the oven too. Air fryer, you can try it on the air fryer too.
Oh yeah, that's right, air fryer. That looks so great. Well, that's all the time we have for this evening. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. It's dinner time, isn't it? Well, thank you for that, Chef Mira. Now, if you'd like to contact the library, you can call the number here on the screen, 813-273-3652, or go online at hcplc.org/contact. And of course, like I mentioned at the top, our summer reading is underway. You can learn all about it at hcplc.org/summer. And of course, if you want to see Chef Mira's website, it's www.breakingbreadwithmira.com. All right, with that, I thank you, Mira. As usual, you've shown us so many wonderful recipes and all very fantastic. Thank you for that. And thank you, everyone who joined us this evening. We'll see you all very soon. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.